everyone, I'm Jenny Caviles, taking Business Administration, major in Marketing Management at San Mateo Municipal College. So today, I will talk about communication barriers. So before we start, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you just couldn't get your message across clearly? Have you ever tried to say something important but felt like you weren't really heard? Why do you think people misunderstand each other even when they're talking face to face? Why got in the way? So today, I'm here for you to know and explore some of the common barriers to communication that prevent us from conveying our messages clearly, and how can we overcome these obstacles to improve understanding and connection, because having effective communication is important in all parts of our lives, from personal relationships to work environment. So, let's get started. So, let us first understand what is communication. So, communication is the way people send and receive information. It can be by talking, writing, or even using body language. For communication to work well, the message should be clear and the person receiving it should understand exactly what the sender means. So let's proceed to the main topic. What are communication barriers? So communication barriers means anything that stops or makes it hard for people to understand each other clearly when they talk or share information. We all experience communication barriers at some time. Understanding them help us improve how we share ideas and feelings. In other words, communication barriers are problems or obstacles that makes messages unclear or misunderstood. When barriers happen, the message can get lost, wrong, or confusing. So these barriers can happen because of many reasons, and they can affect the sender, the message itself, or the receiver. So let me explain the common types clearly. So the first communication barrier is physical barrier. Physical barriers are things around us that make it hard to communicate. This includes noise, distance, or any physical problem. For example, a loud noise in the room can stop us from hearing someone, or being far apart like talking on the phone with bad signal also make it hard to understand. To fix physical barriers, we can find a quiet place, use good tools for communication, and try to be closer when talking. The next one is language barriers. Language barriers happen when people speak different languages or use words that others don't understand. For example, sometimes people use difficult words or special terms or jargon that confuse others. Or even when speaking the same language, accents or slang can make understanding hard. So the best way to avoid this barrier is by using simple and clear words, avoiding slang or technical terms, and making sure everyone understands. The third one is psychological barriers. These barriers come from feelings and thoughts inside people's minds. When someone is nervous, angry, or stressed, they may not listen well or say things clearly. Or sometimes people have biases or assumptions that stop them from hearing the true message. So to reduce psychological barriers, it helps create a friendly and safe environment where people feel comfortable sharing and listening. Next is cultural barriers. Cultural barriers happen because people came from different backgrounds and have different ways of speaking or behaving. So, for example, in some cultures, making eye contact is polite, but in others, it may be rude. Another is differences in gestures, manners, or customs can cause misunderstandings. So we can overcome cultural barriers by learning about other cultures and respecting their differences. Next is semantic barriers. Semantic barriers happen when the meaning of words or phrase is not clear or is misunderstood. For example, some words have multiple meanings and this can confuse the listener. To avoid semantic barriers, use simple words, explain any unclear words, and avoid ambiguous phrases. Next is technological barriers. In today's world, technology helps us communicate a lot, but it can also cause problems. Sometimes computers or phones don't work right, causing messages to be lost. Or another one is not everyone knows how to use new technology well. So to fix technological barriers, it is important to learn how to use tools properly and check that equipment works before communicating. Why is overcoming communication barriers important? So, when communication barriers are broken, people understand each other better. This helps avoid mistakes, builds better relationships, and makes working or living together easier. Clear communication also saves time and energy. So, how can we overcome communication barriers? The first one is always listen carefully and ask questions if something is not clear. Second is use simple and clear language. Next is be patient and open-minded. The next one is respect differences in culture and opinions. Next is use good tools and environments for communication. And the last one is give and accept feedback to improve understanding. Communication barriers are common but can be managed it with careful effort. By knowing the types of barriers, we can work on removing them to communicate better with others. Good communication helps us connect, share ideas, and solve problems together. And that's all. Thank you for listening.